So I watched Wicked for Good last night, and instead of recording a video last night, I was tired. I went to bed. So I'm gonna try and collect my thoughts this morning, really early in the morning, and try and get a discussion out. So let's do that. But first, I didn't review Wicked Part 1 last year for some reason. So let's go ahead and give my thoughts on that right now. I thought it was really good. Okay, the songs were great. Cynthia and Ariana, they were great. Pretty much everyone did pretty good. Michelle Yeoh and Jeff Goldblum, they're actors, they're not great singers, but you know, the lighting was atrocious. I'd give that one like an 8 out of 10. And then, if you want to hear my thoughts on The Wizard of Oz, I don't know. It's a classic. Don't know. But Wicked for Good has some problems that I do need to discuss. So let's get into that. So, I'm sorry about that. What they did with these movies is they split Act 1 of Wicked. They made that in the first movie, and that was good. Then they put Act 2 into this movie. And so Wicked for Good is Wicked Act 2, like the Broadway musical. And it definitely worked a lot better for Wicked Act 1. Because what they did with Act 1 is kind of astounding, because they turned a 2.5 hour Broadway play into a 2.5 hour movie. And it was like, the pacing in that movie was really, really good. Like, I was really getting worried when I was watching it last year, just like, oh, I'm going to be here forever. It's never going to end. The pacing is going to be awful. No, it was actually pretty well paced and very well done. This movie, from what I've heard, I've never seen the original show, so I'm just going off what I've heard, but they took the first 20 minutes of the Broadway show, and then that's the first hour of this movie. The movie is not paced very well. I just did, like, I would not, like, willingly go see that again. Mainly because the first half is, like, it's just so slow. It's like, okay, my main problem is Elphaba, like, barely showed up. Like, she needed to show up more. It was all on Ariana. And it's just like, okay, like, she's like an important character, but, like, I wanted more interactions from them, because that's what I really liked from the first movie, is their interactions and how sweet they were. And we get that later in the movie. So the pacing is not great, because the first hour I wasn't all too excited. There were some cool scenes, but, like, come on. Hang on, I have more thoughts. I forgot to say this, but there's going to be a spoiler. There's going to be a lot of spoilers when talking about this video, so if you haven't seen it, do what everyone else does and click off. So, yeah. Anyway, so, and I don't know how, when did this take place, actually, like, in relation to the first movie? How many years does Wicked for Good happen after the first Wicked? That makes, like, no sense. About 5 years. So in that 5 years, Elphaba's sister Nessa is the governor somehow, and Bach is like, I can't tell if Bach is like working for her or if he's just kind of chilling there, but then he tries to leave because he wants to tell Glinda how he feels about her, which, nice try, dude. like, when he said that, I was like, what do you think's gonna happen? like, like, I know it happened in real life, but it's not gonna happen here, buddy. Like, what an odd thing that happened in real life. Like, so weird. But, Alright. And then he tries to leave, but then a law goes out that's like, Munchkins can't leave, and then he goes back to actually work for her. And then, like, he tries to leave again, but, like, nothing changed, dude. Like, you can't just leave now, because, like, it's so odd. Like, I just couldn't wrap my head around, like, why it would work this time when nothing has changed. Like, you did nothing. The Tin Man reveal was pretty cool. Like, because whenever Elphaba turns someone into, like, when she turned Bach into the Tin Man, like, the one line that's just like, he won't need a heart anymore, is like, I was like, oh my gosh, that's pretty cool. Because Wicked is not in the canon of The Wizard of Oz, so thinking about that, these are some pretty cool reveals. So, like, if you completely, like, disregard that this happened in the original 1939 movie, It's fine. I do like it though, and he actually does excellent in that mob song. It's honestly pretty well done. The Scarecrow thing, like logistically, it doesn't make sense at all. Like he was created last, well after Dorothy was set out, and Dorothy meets this guy in like the first like I don't know, 10, 15 minutes of her journey. So wouldn't it make sense for him to be like, I don't know, created just a little bit earlier? I don't know. It was a cool scene though. But yeah, the characters get created like from when they don't need to be. Like they get created in like reverse orders. Like okay, I mean the Cowardly Lion makes sense because he grew up in that 5 years, but everything else is yeah. Remember when the Cowardly Lion was saying he's gonna be someone like famous? I was really hoping for Jack Black. That would have been really funny. I have more things. Alright, Jeff Goldblum as the Wizard. It's definitely better here. Like, I feel like he's still not a good singer. Like, this literally is like the Les Mis situation where they hired a bunch of celebrities that couldn't sing. Even though Hugh Jackman could sing. And I don't know what Tom Hooper was doing with him. He can sing. But anyways. He's actually not terrible now. He only gets like one song, and he's in Wonderful, which I like the song. He does pretty good in the song. I like how they added Glinda to that song. I think it's a really nice touch, and it's just a really nice scene, and I liked it. Michelle Yeoh, like honestly, is just I don't like her. Like she's clearly like I don't know. It kind of feels like they wanted her to be a main antagonist, but like I don't know. Like I feel like she even went on record and saying like I'm not a good singer, and then John M. Chu hires her anyway. It's just like I can't be mad. It's not her fault. It's John's fault. But like that's still kind of dumb. Like she can't sing. Get someone who can. Like in the acting department, she's a great actress, but like she can't sing. She has singing roles in these movies. Stop. Like this is a problem that you created. She can't sing. I don't know. It's okay, but I don't know. Let's talk about the songs. I feel like there was a big lack of big ones. And here, let me talk about this first. Everyone knows Defying Gravity. Everyone knows Popular. Everyone knows a lot of songs in Wicked Act 1 before that movie even came out. I could not tell you, besides like For Good, but I barely knew that before the title was announced. I could not tell you a single song from Act 2 before watching this movie. And that's because Act 2 is just a lot less popular. And that's not even like me being rude. That's just the truth. No one really cares as much. Because like, okay, I hate to say this, but let's think about Hamilton. Hamilton is like spread out across both of its acts to where you know both parts very well because of the songs. Act 1, My Shot, Yorktown, Alexander Hamilton, the Scarlet Sisters, Helpless, Satisfied, you know, all those. And then you got over here, Act 2. Rumor It Happened, Say No to This, Take a Break, Election of 1800, What I Miss, The Cabinet Battles. Like, those are really well-known songs. No doubt, but like, come on. Like, there's not a really big one at the beginning of Act 2 for Wicked. Like, No One Mourns the Wicked is really good, and they kind of sell it here because I don't really have a big song to open the movie with this time. But it gets there. Like, my favorite song is No Good Deed, mainly because of the way, like, Cynthia delivers it. It's a really good scene. Like, it's just a really good scene overall. But yeah. And then the main song, which is supposed to be For Good, it doesn't look great. Like, it's just, like, I know it's meant to be a drab background, but, like, they could have done something with, like, this is, like, they did it with Wonderful. Like, is that what the song's called? Because I just keep calling it Wonderful. They say it a lot. Yeah, it's Wonderful. Like, they do it in Wonderful. They make interesting, like, backgrounds happen. Like, why can't they do it there? Like, have her flying through space again. I don't know. Do something with this massive song that brought everyone to tears. You can do better, okay? It's great musically. They're both doing great jobs. I just wish it was nicer to look at. The lighting, why? It's better. This time it's kind of the opposite. I thought some scenes were too dark. Like, And I know that's kind of meant to be the point. Like, this is supposed to be a much darker, like, version of Wicked. Because, like, this is when there's not a lot of good things that's going on right now. Like, everything's kind of just, like, it's not great. So, yeah. Like, but some things are just, like, some things that aren't meant to be dark just kind of, like, have a weird shadow on the, like, there's a specific scene with Ariana that I can't really name, but I think it's, like, I don't really know when it happens, but like her face is just so dim. It's just like you could have lit her face just a little bit more, considering like, yeah, it's a dark scene, but you definitely could have done more. Like it's just so dark. Like her shadow is just like there's a shadow projecting on her face. Like it doesn't look bad. It's definitely a much more pleasant look than having your eyes just blinded with sunlight because they didn't light the first movie. Actually, they lit it a little too well. But this movie, if you can accept that, like, it was meant to be a dark, like, darker than the first movie, like, it's a decent time. It's like, it's a decent lighting kind of thing. If I didn't already mention, like, most of these songs are good. They just, okay, let's talk about, like, Wicked Witch of the East. Oh, musically, it's not fantastic. But it is like a cool kind of song, I guess. But like musically, like like just sitting there, I was just like, really? Like that's such an interesting song because like it was a well done scene, but musically it could use some work. Let me see if there's any like final thoughts I need to collect before wrapping up. Okay, there was one comedic moment that wasn't meant to be a comedic moment, but I actually did kind of laugh at. There's a song, and I think it's when what's the name of it? I might make the name right before I just say the song that does this. I think it's "As Long as You're Mine." The start of that song just kind of happens. Like there's no like build up to it. She just starts singing, and then after that they add dialogue to it, and that would make sense to go before the song, because the song starts when like they're like across the place from each other. Stop. The song starts when they're like nowhere close to each other, which like the lyrics don't make sense if they're not next to each other. Like she just starts singing, it just doesn't make any sense, and that like I don't know, that was funny to me because like it just doesn't make any sense, and that's nice. The Scarecrow Fiero kind of looks like Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. I don't know. Let me go collect more thoughts. Okay. I know I kind of talked about this earlier, but like, I think I would have liked it better if it just wasn't the same as The Wizard of Oz. Because this is just the beginning. Like, the Wicked Part 2 is pretty much just The Wizard of Oz. But we're not focusing on the characters that were the main characters in The Wizard of Oz. We're focusing on the side characters, which is fine. That's what this is set out to do. But I feel like I'm watching The Wizard of Oz, but I'm missing the big stuff that's supposed to, like, that made the movie a classic, and I'm just sitting back watching that. Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna watch The Wizard of Oz. And I don't even, like, I think The Wizard of Oz is just fine. These two movies are better, but, like, like, I'm just watching The Wizard of Oz from the background. Is that what being extra feels like? So, like, I wish the story didn't feel the need to, like, contort itself to be like The Wizard of Oz, because there's a lot of scenes, like, again, the Scarecrow just doesn't make any sense. And I know it's not canon, but, like, you can't just mess that up. Like, why was it done in reverse? I mean, I guess that makes sense logistically, but when when the Scarecrow gets created, that doesn't make sense logistically. Did Dorothy just walk across like this guy just getting beaten and then just watch him turn into a Scarecrow? Because that's what happens. I don't know. Like, it's just ridiculous at some points. Like, again, I think the Tin Man reveal was cool, but it didn't need to happen. Like, I don't know. Those are things that need to happen at like, the end of the movie. That's like to set up the Wizard of Oz. Okay, like after For Good is one of the best scenes. I love when she gets hit with the water. Like, that's a really good scene because, like, I don't know, that's a Wizard of Oz scene, I know. But now when I go back to Wizard of Oz, I know it's not canon, but, like, I can still think, like, that's pretty cool. That is still pretty cool. So, yeah, if I have any more thoughts, I really don't want to keep, like, cutting the video, but I'm feeling, a solid, let's give it like an 8 out of 10. I think an 8 out of 10 kind of suits it. The beginning is like I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to, like, I think the beginning's like a 7 out of 10. The second half really picks it up. So, yeah. I'll talk about it more in the 2025 movies ranked video. And maybe I'll do it even like a retrospective series on these movies. But that means I'll have to rewatch this one, which means I'll have to sit through the opening again. So, maybe not. But I'll definitely talk about it more next year. Thank you guys for listening and watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye, but dang it, I messed that one up. Goodbye, Oz.